To turn a picture into a Rubik's Cube mosaic, you'll need a bunch of cubes and some magic software that converts your image into a pixelated version. The good news? There's a free open source tool for exactly that. Hey, I'm Roman Strakov, a Rubik's Cube artist and the brain behind this tool, which hundreds of cube artists around the world can't get enough of. I wanted to create something super easy to use, while also giving you the freedom to get creative with plenty of customization options. So here's how you do it. First, upload your photo, tell it how many cubes you've got, choose the look that grabs you, and hit download PDF. And boom, just like that, you've got everything you need to make your masterpiece. This workflow should be enough for most folks, but if you're aiming to squeeze every bit of potential out of this tool, stick with me, as I'm about to unpack every trick that this tool's got. But before we dive into features, there is one crucial thing you need to understand. The secret sauce to mind-blowing mosaics is all in the quality of your source image. You need to choose a photo that's naturally high in contrast. Especially for portraits, you want the lighting that plays up every unique feature of the face. So don't use photos like this one. Sure, you can tell who it is, but this won't look good when converted to a pixel art. With that out of the way, you now should be ready for the first pro tip for upping your cube portraits. Open the photo in your favorite image editor and look for the sharpen effect. Cranking up the sharpness to this almost unnatural level brings out even more details on the face. Why do this, you ask? Well, check the difference it makes and see for yourself. Alright, now buckle up, because you're about to discover everything that bestsiteever mosaic can do. Once you've got the photo uploaded, the first thing you do is you tell how many cubes you're working with and crop your pic. Notice that while you're messing with the frame borders, the aspect ratio stays unchanged. This is intentional, as the aspect ratio should match the number of cubes you've entered. Let's say I've got 400 Rubik's Cubes at my disposal. I could go for a setup of 18 by 22, or 17 by 23, or even 20 by 20, all depending on the size of the physical frame I've got for my art installation. Next up, you're gonna see a variety of options for how your mosaic may look like. Now, I don't want to throw any technical jargon at you, but it boils down to two main options, which transforms your colorful, detailed image into a tiny pixel art with just a handful of colors. The gradient method treats your picture as if it was a grayscale image. It assigns the darkest color available on your cube, which I hope is blue, to the darkest areas of the image. And as things light up in your picture, so do the sticker shades on your cubes. In the final stage, you can fine-tune the colors. For example, I can dial down the yellow to reveal more white areas, or deepen the shadows by adding a bit more blue. The dithering method, on the other hand, is all about scattering those pixels around so that when you take a few steps back or just smack that blur button, you kind of get a glimpse on the original colors shining through. This technique works especially well when you've got a ton of cubes to play with, say over 1,000, and you're aiming for that almost spooky good photocopy vibe. In the final stage, there is a grain knob that you can tweak, which controls the density of the color scattering. The more cubes you have, the lower you can allow it to be. If you like the overall result but feel like adding a personal touch, maybe just your signature or a little tweak, there is an Edit Pixel by Pixel button. When you hit it, a PNG image downloads, capturing everything you see here, pixel for pixel. Once you're all set, just drag and drop it back to the bestsiteever, and there you have it. But what if your cubes feature some funky colors? Suppose they have black instead of green? No problem at all, just hit up Customize Colors or Palette Editor and you can mess around with the colors all you want. Add them, remove them, tweak the tone till they're just right. You also have the option to select which colors are used in the gradient or which ones should be excluded from dithering. Let's say my green is very dark and I'm feeling like including this in the gradient over blue. So here is how I do this, and here is what the final image looks like. If you want to keep the color setup permanently, you can save the palette clicking Export and then bring it back whenever needed by clicking Import. And if you've completely messed up with colors, simply hit the Reset to Defaults button and it's like nothing ever happened. But what if you've gotten so dang good at creating pixel art in your own way that you can no longer rely on the external tools for it? Well, if that's the case, then the only thing you need is the way to quickly convert your pixel art image into a PDF version that neatly splits your picture, leaving some gaps in between the 3x3 cubes. And great news, bestsiteever mosaic can do exactly that. So here's my impressive 60 by 90 pixel art image, and all I have to do is just drag and drop it here and enjoy the convenience of having this PDF layout for my image ready to be transformed to a masterpiece. When making final adjustments, it's helpful to take a glimpse at what your real physical mosaic looks like. I used to use cubes with white plastic for my art, so here I would choose Preview Plastic Color White. Then I'd blur the image a few times to see how the mosaic looks from a distance, and maybe do some more adjustments, blur it again, and now it looks just right. Now let's say you're hosting a public event where people passing by can participate in putting the mosaic together. You'll then need to print out a PDF file for that. Oh, and if your printer only knows black and white, don't sweat it. Simply tick that black and white PDF box. And instead of those colorful squares, each sticker now gets its own big bold letter. You can of course play around with these letters in the palette editor to make them whatever you want. So for the whole black and blue mix-up, I go for D for dark to keep things clear. Now if you're stacking the cubes bottom to top in a vertical frame, it does make sense to output the PDF, well, bottom to top, ensuring that the bottom rows appears first. However, if you're spreading the cubes on the floor, then maybe outputting from top to bottom is the way to go. And by tweaking PDF block size option, you can stuff loads of cubes into just one PDF page. Now this magic tool isn't just for Rubik's Cube fanatics. I've seen people using it for diamond art. I've got my buddy Alessandro from pixelart.com using it for its project. I have actually used it to whip up the swirly version of Mona Lisa. Pretty cool, right? The trick is to just switch up the color palette, and I'll drop some links to color palettes in the video description for you to explore. And that wraps up everything that this tool has to offer for now. But hey, don't think this is it. I'm always in the lab experimenting with new features and tricks, so if you want to stay in the loop, dive into the Discord server. Yes, I kicked off a Discord server just for this mosaic tool. If you've got any wild ideas about what else this tool can be used for, don't keep them for yourself. Alright, see you there.